Have you ever been in one of those meetings, staring at a spreadsheet and wondering why your company's super expensive software hasn't stopped the endless arguments over whose numbers are right? If that sounds familiar, then you're in the right place. We're going to dive into this exact frustration and talk about how to finally break down those digital walls between your teams.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? We pour millions into these massive systems, ERPs, CRMs, you name it, hoping they'll be this magical unifier for the whole business. But what happens way too often? They just become a new, very expensive digital box to trap our old departmental silos in.
And this slide, well, this just lays out that disconnect perfectly. On the one hand, you have the promise, right? The big sales pitch, a single source of truth. But on the other hand, you have the reality that most of us live in. It's digitized chaos. Finance has their number, operations has a completely different one, and the meeting just turns into a debate over whose data to trust. It is absolutely exhausting.
Okay, so what is really going on here? Is the software just broken? Well, not exactly. The problem is actually a lot deeper. It's baked right into the fundamental design of these systems. So let's play doctor for a minute and diagnose the root causes of these digital divides.
First things first, these enterprise systems are almost always built around functions, not actual end-to-end business processes. I mean, think about it. You've got a finance module, a sales module, an HR module. Each one is perfectly optimized for its own little kingdom. But the actual process, like, say, getting a customer's order from purchase to delivery, that has to awkwardly jump from one module to the next with all sorts of gaps in between. And then there's this big one. The data models just don't talk to each other. Finance is thinking in cost centers. Meanwhile, operations is over here focused on work centers. And sales, they only care about customer accounts. So of course the reports are going to conflict. They're all looking at the exact same business, but through totally different lenses. It's not a single source of truth. It's more like multiple truths fighting for attention on the same database.
And you know what? We often make the problem even worse ourselves with customization. We bend and twist the software to fit our old, siloed ways of working. And all that does is lock each module even deeper into its own departmental language, creating these fragile, manual handoffs instead of that smooth, seamless integration we were all promised.
So that's the pretty grim diagnosis. But here's the good news. There is a really powerful solution. And the best part, it doesn't involve buying another piece of software. It's a shift in thinking called Integrated Process Excellence, or IPE for short. Think of it like a new intelligence layer that sits on top of your existing systems to unlock the value you've already paid for.
The real magic here is in that phrase cause and effect logic. See, your ERP is fantastic at telling you what happened. For example, shipment number 7 was late. Great. But IPE is the framework that explains why it happened by connecting the dots between all your different systems and translating their data into one common business language. And this isn't just some high-level theory. It's a practical, honest-to-goodness 3-step method. First, you lead with the process design before you start messing with the system. Second, you define key metrics that actually matter to the whole business, not just one department. And third, you leverage modern tools like data fabrics to tie it all together. Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. How does this method actually work in the real world? How does IPE take those stubborn digital silos and, well, make them irrelevant? This brings us to a really cool and powerful concept, the data fabric. The best way to think about it is as your company's digital nervous system. Your ERP, your CRM, your manufacturing systems, those are all like vital organs. The data fabric is the network that connects them all in real time. It organizes all that information around a process, like order to cash, instead of trapping it inside a department. And when that happens, wow, everything changes. It creates this huge cultural shift. When everyone, from the sales team to the finance department to the people on the shop floor, is looking at the exact same trusted, real-time information, the finger-pointing just stops. The entire conversation flips from who owns this data to, okay, what action do we take together?
All right, enough theory, let's look at the proof. How does this framework actually turn that daily data confusion we all know so well into real, actionable clarity?
So, here is the classic before picture. You've been in this meeting, right? The boss asks, how are we doing on scrap? Quality says it's 4.2%. Finance is adamant it's 3.1%. Operations swears it's 2.9%. Who on earth do you believe? The meeting ends, everyone's frustrated, and there's no clear path forward. Now, check out the after.
With IPE in place, you get one single trusted number for scrap, 3.1%. But here's the crucial part. You also get the why. The data clearly shows that the improvement came from better supplier quality, more effective operator training, and faster machine setups. Suddenly, the conversation isn't about whose number is right, it's about how to do more of what's working.
Okay, let's take another one we've all seen a million times. Sales are up. Fantastic news! But in the before eyepiece world, what happens next? Everyone rushes to take credit. Marketing says, it was our new ad campaign. Finance says, no, it was our pricing change. Sales says, it was our new territories. And leadership has absolutely no idea what actually worked.
But with IP, you get the full, detailed story. Yes, sales grew by 15%, but now you can see that 6% of that growth came from marketing's new customer campaigns. Another 5% came directly from finance's pricing strategy, and a solid 4% came because operations improved on-time delivery, which boosted customer retention. Everyone sees how they contributed, and leadership knows exactly which levers to pull next quarter. It's a total game changer.
So, let's pull this all together. The big takeaway here is really about reframing the entire role of the technology you've already invested millions in. It's about making a conscious shift from just basic record keeping to generating real, powerful, actionable insight. It really comes down to this. Let your ERP be what it's great at, being your trusted system of record. Think of it as your digital filing cabinet, incredibly reliable for storing what happened. Then you layer IPE on top to become your system of insight, the brain that actually connects the dots, understands cause and effect, and guides your best decisions. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Right now, are your enterprise systems just a tool to keep you compliant, or are they a true engine that makes you more competitive? With the right approach, that choice is entirely yours. Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.